I wanted to share a couple of items that I've been recommending to clients and colleagues who are in business and legal roles in companies that are commercializing machine learning algorithms. So these are not technical folks, they're not machine learning engineers or data scientists, but they are looking to work more closely with those teams to be more collaborative and to work in a less siloed manner. And I get some great questions from these discussions. I've been asked how machine learning algorithms are selected for certain applications, how models are developed, and what the best way for deploying those models are. And I find that many non-technical people are sometimes overwhelmed by the sheer amount of material that's out there in regards to machine learning and the theories underpinning it. I also find that much of this material tends to fall into two categories. So there's very highly technical material, and then there's the more hype type material that talks about the application and the benefits, but doesn't really go into the theory behind it. And so I'm always on the lookout for material that is clear, succinct, easy to understand, and offers a good balance of practical with the theory. So I was excited about this book, the 100-page machine learning book. I bought it a couple of weeks ago, and I've since recommended it to a couple of people. I've got some great feedback. One of my friends who's not very technical said he found it very easy to get through the first couple of chapters, and he's now tackling the more advanced material. I also thought it was great that this book included mathematical equations, which is something that most introductory books don't. And even more helpful is the fact that there's a primer included, so that if one needs some help in getting up to speed or recalling their high school algebra, there is that help available. I thought for practitioners this was a great book. Andre's obviously an expert in his field, and he has a lot of practical insight that I enjoyed reading about. And I also felt that this book, canvassed such a wide area of machine learning that it helped fill some of the gaps in some areas that I was not that familiar with. So one caveat is that this book is not actually 100 pages, it's 137, but I haven't received any complaints about that. So now we move on to companies that are looking to innovate responsibly. And one thing that I like to recommend is that companies adopt some kind of template, a documented process where the various teams, development, legal, business, sit together and identify, assess, and mitigate risk. And one good tool that I've seen is on the Government of Canada website. It's the Algorithmic Assessment, Impact Assessment tool. It has about 57 questions that gathers information about the business process or the process itself, the data being used, the data subjects, and the impact on the decision or prediction on their lives. And based on that, the tool categorizes the application. It assigns it a risk category from 1 to 4, for which there are various requirements, including various levels of transparency and explainability. And I think Alex Renee and his team did a great job on that tool. And lastly, in honor of International Women's Day tomorrow, I wanted to recommend a biography that I was reading on Ada Lovelace, who collaborated with Charles Babbage on the first computer. It's a great book. It's fairly short and has it includes a lot of the correspondence between her and Charles Babbage. And incidentally, she was of the mind that machines were not capable of original thought, and that was debated and contested by Alan Turing later on. So I'm looking forward to doing more of these videos because I find that this sometimes spurs a lot of discussion about responsible innovation, something